Hey Mar, so I'm doing this video because I wanted to explain some things of Bishamon in a easily way, because texting sometimes is not the best way to explain some things. Sorry for my bad English. I unfortunately don't have too many opportunities to speak in English, just text. So sorry if I miss some things while I'm speaking and doing this video. So first thing of all, I want to make an overview of Bishamon's moveset. So let's start with the normal moves, the standing moves. So we have the three punches: the light punch, medium punch, and heavy punch. The light punch will be pretty useful into dash ones. So basically you will want to do this light punch while dashing. This gives you random bonus, so usually you will want to use this normal move while dashing. The medium punch is a pretty good anti-air. It's not that fantastic anti-air, but it's a good anti-air, and it can be useful while doing with a dash. It's pretty useful this way too. So it's a good anti-air, and you can do this while dashing. I usually do this while dashing against opponents that try to approach while jumping, so dash medium punch is a good option against this. The heavy punch, it's a good anti-air too, but have too many startup frames. So usually you will want to use the medium punch or dash medium punch. But at the corner, the dash HP has a good way to punish opponents that try to jump back at the corner. So this is a good guard break option. So basically you're facing your opponent at the corner, and they try to jump back, and you dash HP to guard break the chicken block that they're trying to do. So these are the standing and dashing punches. For the kick buttons, the light kick, the medium kick, and the heavy kick. The light kick is kinda similar to the LP. You want to use it while dashing. So dash LK, dash LK. This gives you random bonus and is a good pressure option. Just as LP, you want to use this while dashing. The MK, it's not that useful, to be honest. Most of the time you will want to use DHK, which is, we can say that is a better version of the MK. Even dashing, he doesn't have that useful option. DHK will be your best option for a standing kick. He is a unblockable setup. He can set up unblockables while dashing too. You just need to delay a little bit the HK, just like that. If you do the HK too fast, it will not set up the unblockable. Just like that. So you need to delay the HK to land an unblockable. But we will discuss this a little bit further. But this will be your best standing kick. Now for the jumping normals. Jump LP, jump MP, and jump HP. These will be your normals to air spacing. So I usually use the MP and HP instead of LP. Unfortunately, LP does only have one animation while jumping forward, while the MP and HP have two animations, just like that. HP does have one animation, sorry, but he reaches much farther than LP. So I usually use the MP HP to control the air. MP HP, MP HP, MP HP. This will be probably your best option while facing characters that have a high jump, such as Galon or Felicia. Jump back is a good way to use this too, because it's a safer option while trying to control the air against characters that have a good jumping. This can be used in a neutral jump too. At the corner too, you can use this to control the air and try to approach and achieve the advantage. For the jumping kicks, you have LK, the MK, and HK. They are a good combo starters, so one of the basic confirms for Bishamon will be like this. MK, HK, low MP into Yaegiri. They can be used in a neutral jump as well. So this is a basic hit confirm, but we will discuss this a little bit further. And they can be used as with the jumping forward too, just as I have shown, and to buff your special bars. So basically jumping back and whiffing this, and when you land you execute a Yaegiri, you will be buffing your special bar. Just like that. It is pretty important to do this at the beginning of some matches, because as I said to you yesterday, this character is pretty dependent of special bars, because the normal confirms don't do that damage to the opponent. Mainly if we consider that you are facing a opponent that uses a character with too much life, just like Sasquatch. So you will want to deal the most damage as possible, and this character needs too much special bars to deal damage, unfortunately. So it's pretty important that you buff your special bars while whiffing these moves, and the jumping kicks are way important to achieve this. One thing that I forgot is that the standing kick can be useful too while buffing your special bar. Just like that. But I usually do the jumping back because it's a safer option. While doing this, you are kinda vulnerable to projectiles. So I usually do the jumping back Yaegiri. Now for the low normals, we have the 2 LP, 2 MP, and 2 HP. The 2 LP will be a good combo starter. Something like, let me just keep that crouching. Something like that. This will be a good combo starter. The 2 MP will be one good poke and can be cancelled into Yaigiri. So if you're charging your Yaigiri, you can cancel this to keep the spacing while doing a good amount of damage and buffing your special bar. And the 2 HP will be your best poke. This is your best poke to keep the spacing. Just like that. It's pretty important that you try to learn the proper spacing that 2 HP will connect in order to control properly the spacing. So these are the low punches, and they can be chained just like that. And when the 2 HP connects, you will always want to cancel it into standing HK, just like that, to prevent that Bishamon recovers with those many recover frames. So just cancel into standing HK that in order to recover faster, just like that. And this can be chained too, always canceling into standing HK and buff your bar a little bit. So these are the low punches. Now for the low kicks, we have 2LK, 2MK, and 2HK. 2LK is kind of similar to 2LP. This is a good combo starter, just like that. It's a pretty good combo starter, and it's a good poke too. It reaches pretty far for a low kick, and the 2LP as well. They are actually good pokes, but they will be used at that short distance. So it's an important thing to note. The 2MK, it's a good cancel for Karamedama. So you usually want to cancel this into Karamedama to combo, but unfortunately he has 2 hits, and if you somehow miss the Karamedama, you can be guard cancelled. So keep in mind that this low normal has 2 hits, and you will want to cancel it properly into Karamedama. And unfortunately this hit confirm in specific can't be cancelled into a normal Karamedama. It will not connect. You need to do a ES Karamedama. Missed. Just like that. And for the 2HK, unfortunately he is one of the useless moves that Bishamon has. So unfortunately this move doesn't have a lot of useful situations, and probably you will not want to use this. So just ignore that 2HK exists. But please, if you find some use to this normal, please tell me, because I'm playing this character for years and never found a useful situation to use this 2HK. Now for the command normals, we have 6LP, 6MP, and 6HP. The 6LP you don't use, because 6MP do a better job. It reaches far, has a better hitbox, and can be easily cancelled into 6MK. And if you're trying to do some throw at your opponent, it can be an OS throw too. Because this throws, if your opponent jumps, for example, the 6MP will connect, but if he doesn't jump, the throw will connect. So it's a decent OS throw. The 6 HP is kind of similar. He is somehow a anti-air, but unfortunately he doesn't connect just as well as we would want to. So unfortunately he is a anti-air, but not that good anti-air. He has a pretty specific range and a pretty specific hitbox. So opponents with a jump arch that are higher will easily jump above this, and you will certainly be punished. So 6 HP will be used sometimes in a kind of far reach to prevent this. So 6 HP is that anti-air, but not that good anti-air. For the kicks, we have 6LK. Just as 6LP, it's not that good command move. They chain, but you don't do that damage, so just ignore the existence of this. 6MP as well. It's I believe that is an overhead. It doesn't even hit as overhead, so just ignore this. As well as 6HK. 6HK doesn't have that useful, so just ignore these common normal kicks. So when for our first specific aspects of Bishamon, I want to show you some basic hit confirms of Bishamon. The first of them, it will be 2LP cancel into Yaegiri. This is our basic hit confirm. You can cancel this while poking the 2MP, so it's a pretty good hit confirm. The second basic hit confirm is 2MK into Karamedama. It needs to be executed pretty closely to the opponent, unfortunately, but it connects. So 2MK into Karamedama, but if you're not that secure that 2MK will connect into a normal Karamedama, just spend 1 bar to reach faster, and then you do your follow-up. That is Tsuji Hayate. Just 2MK into Karamedama and 236P to execute the Tsuji Hayate. It's the Murata that Bishamon does. Tsuji Hayate. This is your basic follow-up for that basic hit confirm. And the third basic hit confirm is the jumping confirm. So jump MKHK, then you land doing a 2MP, cancel into Yaegiri. Just like that. That is our third basic hit confirm for this character. Now there is a variation of this hit confirm using Karamedama. Unfortunately, the normal Karamedama will not connect, so you will want to use the ES Karamedama instead. Oops. Just like that. This follow-up that I just did is our... oh gosh, I forgot the name. But you can call it the push follow-up. You just do a 4P to push the opponent. Let me just activate this. Display scrolling inputs. It's easier to see what I'm doing, so just like that. Now when the Karamedama connects, you do a 4P to push your opponent. I don't know if it's push or pull. Sorry if I'm speaking it wrong. So 4P, then you bring your opponent close to you, and then you can land a Kienzan, that is the Bishamon DP. This DP can't be normal executed just as the common dragon punches in fighting games. You can do this by landing from a jump. Oh my god. I'm missing every time. Just like that. It's kinda hard today, but you can do this while landing at a jump. You can do this while pulling your opponent close to you as a Karamedama follow-up. You can do at the EX version too, and at a reversal situation, Karamedama can be done too as a reversal. But usually you will use this as a Karamedama follow-up when you pull your opponent. And this reminds me that we need to talk about the specials that Bishamon have. Fortunately, Bishamon have a pretty small arsenal of special moves. So we have Karamedama, that is his projectiles. Let's say that is a walking throw. Karamedama has one follow-up that is Tsuji Hayate. You just do a 236P, and you can finish your opponent with a EX pursuit. Just let me... just as that. This is Togaku Bisarashi. You can do this while executing a down with 2 punches. 2PP. Togaku Bisarashi. This is the Karamedama. Now, Yaigiri. You have the low version, you have the high version. This special move will reach more far when you charge it with more time. So if you charge it with a low time, he will reach a little bit farther. But if you charge it for more time, he will reach a little bit closer to your opponent. just like that. Yaigiri High is a good anti-air and can be confirmed into Togaku Bisarashi, so let me just up, so oops, oops, oops. You need to wait for the opponent to fall. It's a pretty good confirm to practice the timing, and it's important to practice this timing because you will want to maximize your damage as much as possible with the Togaku Bisarashi. Karamedama also can be done as an anti-air, so just like that, and can be confirmed too into Togaku Bisarashi. Just like that. So these are Karamedama with his follow-ups. These are the Yaigiris. Yaigiri can be used too as a way to keep the spacing while buffing your special bar, just as I said earlier. And Karamedama can be used as an anti-air, a combo ender, and things like that. Now for the third special we have Kiriste Gomen. Is Bishamon's command grab. You can do this with MP and HP, but you can do this with LP. Just MP or HP. You can do this with a PP2. That is his EX version. And then you have Onikubi Hineri. That is another command grab that Bishamon has. This special move was pretty broken at Vampire Hunter, but this super were nerfed into VSEF, so there will be situations when you will want to use Onikubi Hineri, but just keep in mind that using your special bars to apply unblockables will be better. So Onikubi Hineri will not be that useful, but it will be some occasions when you will want to use Onikubi Hineris. But this is a detailed explanation, so we don't need to discuss this right now. So these are Bishamon's specials, and for the last super he has the Emaseki, that are the bricks super. These are the brick super. It can be used as an unblockable against two specific characters that are QB and Galon. So these characters will be unblockable using Emaseki, and it's pretty important to use Emaseki into these matchups because the Karamedama will be low profiled into these specific characters and on other characters too, but we won't enter into these details right now. So these are Bishamon's special moves. You will usually be using Yaegiri and Karamedama to in your game in general. They have the EX versions, just as I said earlier. The Karamedama ES version will not be used as much as we would think, because it doesn't give that much damage. And with this follow-up we have too much damage, and you even give a opportunity to do a unblockable loop, just as this. So finishing your combos with Togaku Bisarashi will set unblockable loops, so usually you will want to spend your bar with ES Karamedama and Togaku Bisarashi. Now, returning to our confirms, just as I said earlier, we have 2MP into Yaegiri, 2MK into Karamedama. You can do this with 2MP too, but I usually do with the 2MK. And you have the jumping MKHK into 2MP Yaegiri, or ES Karamedama into your follow-up. Oops. This is the basic confirms. And then you have a little more advanced confirms for Bishamon that I have shown earlier. That is the low confirms. So you have something like this. Oops, I missed the ES Karamedama. Missed the 2. You can practice this confirm just as I'm doing. And then you bring the opponent closer and just practice the confirm. Take your time because it's a pretty hard confirm, but it's way useful into Bishamon's game. So just keep practicing this confirm because it's pretty important. You can do the 2LK and 2LP just like this. It's a good confirm too, because starting with 2LK it will hit low, so it's important to practice this. You have that ender too, the EX version of Tsuji Hayate. Just do a 236 PP. It is kind of a stylish way to finish the match, but I don't recommend you use this EX version of Tsuji Hayate. I usually use this when I see that the EX Tsuji Hayate will finish the match. So you can use this as like this way. So practice this hit confirm and this too. Oops. It's kinda hard, so take your time to practice this confirm. It's pretty important. The confirms that start with 2LK will generally be useful because you will want to confirm these into high damage when the 2LK connects low. Just like that. So these are the basic hit confirms for Bishamon, and we can discuss the general meta for Bishamon. So basically you will want to start your matches buffing your special bars, and when you reach like 2 special bars, you can seek to apply your hit confirms while controlling your air and landing with these low arch normals. or unblockables, just as I have shown earlier, like the unblockable loop. But let's talk about a little bit about the unblockables that Bishamon has. So the basic unblockable is you need to be pretty close to the opponent in order to set the spacing. This unblockable will happen at that specific spacing. So 5 HK, EX Karamedama, just like that. You can set this unblockable in other ways too. I usually do these setups. Then you have the spacing set. I was moving slightly back, or the 5 HK into Yes Karamedama, and then you can maximize your damage to explode the opponent with these special bars. This will be the main meta for Bishamon. Always confirming to Togaku Bisarashi to maximize your damage. It can be confirmed in a throw. Let me just tech throws. No. You can confirm Togaku Bisarashi into throws. It's pretty important to maximize your damage, and you can confirm these Togaku Bisarashi when you anti-air, just as I have shown earlier. So keep in mind that confirming into Togaku Bisarashi is too much important. Now, if you have your opponent cornered, you can do a unblockable loop. Just like this. And you can repeat this loop as much special bars you have to do these unblockable loops. So basically buff your special bars. Then when you have kind of like 2 special bars, you will want to seek for your hit confirm to knock down your opponent and apply the unblockables and maximize your damage. This is the basic meta game for Bishamon. I hope that this explanation can be useful for you, and this is just the basics. We will discuss more specific aspects of the character with the time, so just take your time practicing this basic stuff. Try to do this into real matches, and with the time we will polish more our knowledge with the character. But for now, the basics it's what we will want to improve and practice. So thank you.